Hello everyone, welcome back with another video. My name is Bappy Ahmed and I'm your host. So guys, in this video I'm going to discuss about LlamaIndex. So LlamaIndex is nothing but it's an alternative framework of LangChain. So LlamaIndex gives you the ability to build a very powerful generative AI application with the help of large language model. So whatever things actually we have learned with the LangChain, like we saw like how we can use LangChain framework to build generative AI application. The same things can be performed with the help of LlamaIndex as well. So this LlamaIndex and LangChain is like very popular in the market nowadays. So people are using LlamaIndex and LangChain very broadly in their generative AI application. Now it's up to you like which framework actually you will be choosing whenever you are developing any kinds of generative AI application, right? So we have learned like LangChain, like how we can develop generative AI application with the help of LangChain. Now it's time to also explore like this LlamaIndex one. So in this video, actually, I will give you like how we can build generative AI application with the help of LlamaIndex. So this is going to be one amazing video altogether. Just try to watch this video till the end and don't skip any part of this video, otherwise you might get some issue. And if you have some query, you can let me know in the comment. I will happy to help you. So guys, let's start with our video. So first of all, I will take you through the LlamaIndex documentation, then I will start with our project implementation. So guys, this is the LlamaIndex documentation, and LlamaIndex is nothing but it's a simple flexible data framework for connecting custom data sources to the large language model. So basically LlamaIndex is nothing but it helps you to build this kinds of generative AI application with your custom data, as well as it will also give you the ability to connect with these kinds of large language model we have seen, right? So it is the similar kinds of framework of your LangChain. So whatever functionality LangChain provides, your LlamaIndex will also provide that one, but some of the syntax would be a little bit different. Okay, so I will discuss this thing whenever I will take you through the project demo. Okay, whenever I will be building projects with the help of LlamaIndex, at that time I will show you like where what is the syntax change actually you need to consider. Now guys, you can go through the documentation. They have written everything. Okay, so here it is telling we can easily build like lots of generative AI application with the help of this LlamaIndex. Even you can connect with these kinds of unstructured data, structured data, and semi-structured data. So unstructured data means text data, PDF data, video data, and it can be also image data. Structured data means you can also connect with Excel data, SQL data, and so on. And semi-structured data means like you can also connect with the API. Then you can also with this Slack, then Salesforce, Notion. So these kinds of platform you can also integrate to collect the data with the help of this LlamaIndex. Okay, so this is one of the very popular framework in the market, and it is like very powerful. So you can use this one also to build your generative AI application. So it's fine you if you know like both framework like LangChain and LlamaIndex. So it will help you to build like very powerful generative AI application, right? So I personally like this LlamaIndex a lot. Okay, I usually use LangChain to build my generative AI application, but I also like this LlamaIndex. Sometimes I also use LlamaIndex to create my generative AI application. And guys, this is the documentation of this LlamaIndex. So there actually they have given how to set up this LlamaIndex and what are the things actually it provides. See, it has also this agents, then chatbot, structured data extraction, then indexing, everything like whatever you have seen inside your LangChain, everything it has. If you see here, all the things actually they are providing. So you can go with the documentation. So they have given each and everything. Now I'll quickly show you like how we can set up this LlamaIndex on our Google Colab, and how we can build like one basic generative AI projects with the help of this LlamaIndex. Okay, then it would be very much clear for you. So first of all, what I will do, I will open my Google Colab. So let me open my Google Colab. So here I will create a new notebook. Here you can give the name. So I'll just give Llama Index demo. And here make sure you have selected runtime as GPU. So let me select runtime as GPU, and let me connect the notebook. So in between what I can give you, I'll give you the project architecture, like actually what I'm going to do exactly with the help of this LlamaIndex. So for this actually I'll open my Blackboard, and here I already kept this project architecture, as you can see. So basically here we'll be building one projects. Basically here we'll have lots of like documents. So basically we'll be chatting with the documents. Okay, so chat with multiple multiple documents. Okay, so this is the project name. So it can be any kinds of documents. So it can be PDF, it can be, let's say, doc, it can be txt, okay, it can be image, anything you can give. So we'll be extracting the data all together, okay, then we'll be chatting with these kinds of documents. So this is nothing but our custom source, okay. So this is nothing but our custom data, okay, or custom data source you can talk about, okay. And here, first of all, what I need to do, so user will give me this kinds of like data, custom data. So I need to extract the data, and after extracting, I also need to convert them to chunks, because I already told you what is this chunks and why we need it. Because here I'm going to use large language model, okay, LLM. I'm going to use large language model. So LLM wise, I'll be using something called Google PAM, Google PAM 2. I already discussed like Google PAM 2. And if you already know, Google PAM 2 has one specific input size, which is nothing but 8090 8096 tokens, okay. So if you're extracting the data altogether, so it might be more than 8096 token. So that is why it's better to create a chunk. So instead of giving all the corpus together, I will provide as a chunks to chunks, so that my input size, it can handle very easily, right? So that is why chunks is important. So after creating the chunks from my entire corpus, I also need to convert this text to vector, okay. I'll be converting text to vector. So for this, actually, I'll be using some embedding model. So in this case, actually, I'm going to use Hugging Face embedding model, Hugging Face, Hugging Face embedding model. You can also use PAM2 embedding model. It's completely fine. I already showed you how to use PAM2 embedding model. You can also use Hugging Face embedding model. Then after creating this vector store, I also need to store, these are the vector, okay, in a knowledge base. So by default, actually, this LlamaIndex has one functionality, so it will create a knowledge base in your local. I will show you like how to create it. Then after that, we'll be handling the user. So user will raise some query, so we'll first of all convert that query to query embedding. Then we'll be performing something called semantic search, so it will give me some rank results, and we'll be applying generative uh, model, that means large language model, to get our actual response, okay. So this is the complete idea of our project architecture, right? So now let's implement with the help of this LlamaIndex. As of now, we have seen like how to implement with the LangChain. We have seen like how we can develop end-to-end generative AI projects with the help of LangChain and vector database and so on, right? So same thing you can do with the help of LlamaIndex. You can also add your vector DB here. You can use Pinecone. You can use Web8, you can also use ChromaDB, anything you can use. But here I'm not going to use any kinds of vector DB. I'm going to use default knowledge base providing your LlamaIndex, okay. So it will store your vector in a local. I'll show you like how to do it, okay. You can also connect with the vector DB, so that can be also done. I already taken lots of session on it, so you can go ahead and watch it. So guys, now let's see like how we can set up this one. So to set up LlamaIndex, there is a Python package actually you will get called LlamaIndex. Okay, so just write pip install hyphen q LlamaIndex. Okay, llama hyphen index. So this is the package name you need to install. If you visit their documentation, and if you visit their installation guideline, okay, if you visit their installation guideline, see, this is the LlamaIndex package they are using. Okay, now I also need to install something called PyPDF, because here I'm going to use PDF data. So let me install PyPDF, Py PyPDF. Then I'm also going to install something called doc to text, because I'm going to use also doc type data. So I'll just write pip install doc docs to text txt. Okay, this package I need. Then I already told you I will be using Google PAM2 as my large language model. So for this, actually, I need to install something called Google Generative AI. So pip install uh, Google Generative AI package. Okay. Now I will be using something called Hugging Face embedding. So for this, I need transformer. So I'll install transformer. So pip install transformers. Okay. Now let me install them together. So guys, installation is done. Now I'll import some of the libraries. So let me import. So first of all, I will import something called simple directory reader and my vector stored from my llama index. I'll tell you like whenever I'll be using it. So these two function I need. So these two function actually I need called simple directory reader and my vector store index. I'll tell you like whenever I'll be using. So what is the use of it? Then I also need something called PUM model. So it is already available inside llama index. So as you can see, llama index .llm's PUM, and I'm importing this PUM. And this is the similar things actually with the LangChain as well. So I think you remember we are also importing PUM2 model from LangChain. So from LangChain.llms, then I was also importing this PAM model, right? So if you have already used LangChain, so using this llama index would be very much easy for you because lots of functionality will remain same, will look like similar to you. So some of the functionality and syntax might different, but rest of the things are I think similar. Okay, what I feel like. Then I also need something called service context from llama index. I'll tell you like what is service context. Then I also need something called storage context and this load index from storage. Okay, these are the thing. Then I also need something called operating system package. Now let me import them. Okay, done. Now I will load my data. So here let me comment out load data. So to load the data, first of all, here what I will do, I will create one directory. So here I'll just write one command mkdir and I will name this directory as data. Now if I refresh, I think directory has created. Now here I will upload some of the data, that means documents. So I can upload, see I here I have PDF as well and this docs data as well. So let's upload these docs first of all. So this is the like LlamaIndex documentation, as you can see. So it is present inside my docs file. Now here I will also upload this one YOLO. Okay, YOLO PDF. So with the help of this simple directory reader, we can load everything, any kinds of file format you can load. Okay, so that is the power of this LlamaIndex. But if you used, I think LangChain, you remember, we used to use something called PDF loader, then TXT loader, separate file. But if you're using LlamaIndex, so you can directly load them together. Okay. So these kinds of some functionality will might vary and will look new to you. So it's completely fine, but functionality are same. So guys, let me show you like my data once, like what are the things I have. So in this LlamaIndex docs, I have some content related llama index, like what is llama index and all. Okay, so here is the content I prepared and it is present inside these documents. Then in the PDF, actually, we can see this is a YOLO related PDF. So what is YOLO and YOLO architecture? So these are the content are available. So you can ask any kinds of query, any kinds of question from these documents. Okay, you have submitted. So we'll be doing that with the help of this large language model and with the help of this llama index. Okay. So guys, as you can see, my data has been uploaded. Now what I can do, I'll first of all load the data. So I'll extract the content from these documents and PDF. So for this, I'll be using something called this simple directory reader. So I'll call it, and inside that you just need to provide the directory. So this is the data directory. Inside that I have this data, and here is one function called load underscore data. You need to call, and I will store it inside a variable called documents. Okay. Now let me load them. Yeah, now if you want to see the data, so this is the data it has extracted. Okay, and this is in document format, as you can see. Okay, and it will also give you the reference ID and if you're using any embedding or not. So it's none by default because we haven't used any embedding, and this is the content it has extracted. Okay, now what I need to do, guys, we have successfully extracted the data. Now I need to perform something called chunking operation on top of it because this is my entire corpus, and I also need to convert them to chunks. So for this, let me just first of all comment. So we'll be performing split text into small chunks. So before that, first of all, I need to set my Google API key. Okay, Google API key I need to set. So the using this Google API key, we'll be able to access our Palm model. Okay, from this uh, Google Palm API. So if you open this Google Palm website, so here they are telling just try to create one API. I already showed you how to create the API. Just click on this Palm API, and here you just need to get your API key, and here you can generate a new key. Okay, so for me, I already created one key. So this is my key I already created. So if you don't have any key, you can create from here. So guys, I already created the key. So this is my key, and don't share this key with anyone. I will remove it after the recording. So that is why I'm showing. Now let me set this key as my environment variable. Done. Then I need to initialize my LLM. So LLM wise, I am using something called this Palm model. So it will automatically authenticate using this API key. Okay, so Palm is not initialized. Please install Google Generative AI. I think we have already installed this package. Why it is giving? Okay, let me install it. Okay, I need to restart the runtime. So that is why I think it was not working. So guys, we have restarted the runtime. Now let me import them again. Now I think my documents is already there. Okay, so I need to again load the documents. Now this is my data. Now I'll set this API key. Now I load my Palm model. Okay, it's loaded. Now see guys, initially whenever I was using LangChain, so we used to create these chunks in a different way. We used to use something called text character splitter function to create these chunks. But here this things is a little bit different. So here you need to use something called this service context. Okay, so here is a service context function. You need to use this function. So here you just need to initialize it. So it has one method called from documents. So from no sorry from default. So from defaults, and here you just need to pass the LLM at the very first. So LLM wise, so Palm is my LLM. Then I also need to give the chunk underscore size. I think you already know what is chunk size, so it will like split your data with respect to that. And I also need to define something called chunk overlap. Okay, so overlap, so let's give 20. So chunks overlap helps us to understand the context of my entire corpus, because it will convert to chunks, and to get your previous context I need the chunks overlap. I already explained this thing in my vector database session. Now here you can also give like embedding, which embedding you want to use, and if you're not giving anything, so by default it will use that Hugging Face embedding. I'll show you. So service context, this is my service context I got. Now if I execute this code, you will see it will first of all okay, it's giving one error, no API key found for OpenAI. uh okay, it's giving the error because I need to again install this transformer, I think. So let me install the transformers. So guys, as you can see, it's giving one error. It's telling no API key found for OpenAI. So here by default, if you are not giving any embedding model, so it will try to take the OpenAI embedding model. But here in this case, we haven't provided any OpenAI API key. So that's why it's throwing error. So if you visit this URL, so they're telling if you want to use some other embedding, so you need to first of all import it. So let me import this Hugging Face embedding. So I told you I'll be using Hugging Face embedding. So first of all, let me import this Hugging Face embedding here. You can also use Google PAM embedding the way I showed you in my previous project. You can do it, but let's use this Hugging Face embedding. Now I need to create one object called embed model. So here I can create. Now here I'll be using this model. This is the model available in the Hugging Face. This is the embedding model. So I need to install something called sentence transformer for this. So this is the command. Let me install it here. Done. Now let me import it. Now guys, see, first of all, it will download that embedding model from Hugging Face. Then it will load that. So done. Now I need to give one parameter here called embed model is equal to embed model. Now let me execute it. So my service context is prepared right now. Now what I will do, now what I need to do, I need to convert my documents to chunks, and that chunks I need to convert to something called vector embedding. Okay, so for this, you need to use something called uh, vector store. Okay, so vector store, I think we have already imported this thing above. So this is the vector store index. So this class will help me to do that. So let me import it here, and it has one function called from documents. Okay, so here you just need to give your document. So in this case, I have my documents here. I think you remember. So this is my documents. This is my entire corpus. Then I also need to give my service context. So service context equal to my service context. This is the service context. So it will take the model and everything from here, and all the configure I have set here, chunk size, chunks overlap, everything I have given here. Now I will get my something called index here. So in LlamaIndex, the vector you get, we call them index. Okay, so this is my index. Now let me convert them. So it is taking some time because it is taking all the documents and converting to chunks and converting to vectors. Okay, now we have successfully converted them. Now I need to store them in my local. So let me comment it here. So to store it, first of all, call this object called index, and there is a method called storage 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 context dot persist. Okay, now if I execute this one, you will see it will save everything as your local. Okay, so there is a folder it will create called storage. Inside that, see all the vector it has saved. Okay, now you can open it, anything you can see that. Okay, see, this is the data it has saved. So it follows one particular format to save your documents. So it might not understandable to you, but this is my, see, this is my vector. Okay, this is my final vector of my entire data. Now guys, we have successfully stored our indexes. Now let's see if you have some existing storage or existing index already. So instead of creating them, you can directly load it. So this is the code. So this is the code, load the index. So here you need to call storage context. I think you remember we imported this thing, storage context. So using storage context, there is a method called from default, and here you just need to give the persist directory, which is nothing but storage, and it will load that. And to load it, you need to use load index from storage. Okay, we imported, I think above, you remember, load index from storage. Then it will load that index for you. Okay, it will load that index for you. So you can execute this code. Okay, I already created my index object, that's why I will comment it out. Okay, I'll comment it out. You can if you have already, so you can load it out. And here you can also use like vector db to store these other data to your vector db as well. Okay, this is also possible, but LlamaIndex provide this functionality, so that's why I am showing this functionality to you. Okay, how to store them in a local machine. Now we can perform our QA operation. So let's do Q&A operation. So here, first of all, you need to define one query engine. So this is my index. So it has one parameter as query, as underscore query engine, and this is my query engine. Hmm. Now I'll call my query engine, and here I will ask the query. So this is my query. So here, first of all, I will ask like what is LlamaIndex, because I have one LlamaIndex related documentation here, right? So that's why I'll ask what is LlamaIndex, and it will give you the response, and this response I will print it here. So guys, this is my response. Again, it's not understandable. So if you want to extract the actual response, if you want to see the actual text, so for this, you can use this package, because we are using Google Colab. So there is a package called IPython display, markdown and display. So these two packages I'll be importing. Then I'll be using something called display.markdown, and here I will give my response. Okay, the response I'm getting now, if I execute it, so it should give me the response. See, LlamaIndex is a data framework for building an LLM application. It provides a comprehensive toolkit for integration management and query of your external data, so that you can use with your LLM app. Great. Now you can ask any other query. So let's say I have one YOLO documentation, so I can ask anything about YOLO. So what is YOLO? Now if I execute again, see, YOLO is a regression algorithm. It takes image input and output, building bounding boxes and level images. Okay, great. Now let's say if I'm asking anything out of this context, out of this data, so let's see what happens. So I'll ask uh, who is Bappy. Let's say I will ask this question. See, it's telling Bappy is a random name, and it's not mentioned in the context. So basically, we have created these projects, and basically it is only relying upon our custom data we have given. Okay, apart from that, if you're asking anything, so it won't be giving the answer. So you can ask anything like related to your documents. So in this case, you can use this question, anything you can ask, like whatever question actually you have, so it will give you the answer with respect to that. Yeah. And this project actually you can convert to Streamlit app. I already showed you how to convert them to Streamlit app and all, so you can try this thing from your site. Okay, I think you can do it. So yes guys, this was all about LlamaIndex. I hope you get it, like how we can use this LlamaIndex as our alternative framework of our LangChain. And this is one of like good framework, I can say. So you can visit the documentation and you can learn so many things about LlamaIndex. Okay, now try to explore from your side, so you'll be getting each and everything. So yes guys, this is all about from my side. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.